The Galaxy Z Fold 8 is shaping up to be the most significant upgrade this line has seen in 3 years. And if you're sitting on a Z Fold 4, a Z Fold 5, or even last year's Fold 6, what we know right now should absolutely affect your buying decision. Here is the number you need to hear first. The Galaxy Z Fold 8 is expected to launch starting at $1,799. That is the same entry price Samsung has held for the past 2 generations. But this time, what you're getting at that price is genuinely different. And the gap between this and the competition has never been more important to understand. Let's start with what most people are talking about, and then get to the part almost nobody is covering yet. The biggest confirmed change is the display. Samsung is moving to a new ultra-thin glass composition on the inner foldable screen, bringing brightness up to an expected 2,600 nits peak. That is a meaningful jump. For professionals working outdoors, creators reviewing footage in direct sunlight, or anyone who has ever struggled to read that inner screen in bright light, this is the upgrade you have been waiting for. The cover display is also getting taller, narrowing the gap between this and a traditional candy bar smartphone experience. But that is not the biggest change. The real story here is what is happening under the hood. The Fold 8 is expected to run on the Snapdragon 8 Elite, the same chip powering the Galaxy S25 Ultra. In real-world terms, that means app load times drop dramatically. Multi-window multitasking, which is literally the core reason people buy a foldable phone, becomes noticeably smoother. Early benchmark estimates place the Snapdragon 8 Elite roughly 40% ahead of the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 in sustained multi-core performance. On a foldable screen where you are regularly running 2 or 3 apps simultaneously, that 40% is not a spec sheet number. That is something you feel every single day. Most buyers comparing foldables right now are making one critical mistake. They are looking at the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold at $1,799 and the OnePlus Open at $1,699 and asking which one has the better camera. That is the wrong question. The right question is, which of these devices is built to perform like a flagship for the next 3 to 4 years of daily use? And right now, the Snapdragon 8 Elite combined with Samsung's 7 years of guaranteed OS updates gives the Fold 8 a long-term ownership argument that neither Google nor OnePlus can fully match at this price point. Speaking of cameras, here is where things get very interesting. Samsung is expected to introduce a new 200-megapixel primary sensor on the Fold 8. Now, before you dismiss that as a marketing number, here is what it means in practice. That sensor captures dramatically more light data per frame. In low-light video recording, early testing of similar sensors on the S25 Ultra showed noise reduction improving by roughly 35% compared to the 50-megapixel sensor on the Fold 6. For creators shooting in mixed lighting environments, restaurants, events, indoor content, that difference is visible without pixel peeping. The telephoto system is also reportedly getting an upgrade to a 10x optical zoom, up from 5x on the Fold 7. That single change alone closes one of the biggest remaining gaps between this and the S25 Ultra for professional photography use. Now here is the part that almost nobody is talking about. Battery capacity is expected to increase to 4,500 milliamp hours, up from 4,400 milliamp hours on the Fold 7. On paper, that sounds trivial, but combine a larger battery with the efficiency improvements of the Snapdragon 8 Elite's 3nm architecture, and real-world screen-on-time projections are pointing toward 20 to 25% better endurance than the Fold 6. That means moving from a phone that struggles to hit 6 hours of active use on a big screen to one that comfortably reaches 7 to 8 hours. For a power user running this as their primary productivity device, that is genuinely life-changing. Wired charging is expected to hold at 25 watts, which remains one of the legitimate criticisms of this device compared to the 80-watt charging on the OnePlus Open. If fast charging is critical to your workflow, that is a real trade-off worth acknowledging. Let us talk about the design, because Samsung made a choice here that splits the room. The hinge mechanism has reportedly been redesigned to reduce the crease depth on the inner display by approximately 30%. If you have ever handed a Z Fold to someone who had never used one and watched their eyes go straight to that crease, Samsung heard that feedback. This is a genuine quality of life improvement for daily users. The device is also reportedly 0.3 millimeters thinner when unfolded, bringing it meaningfully closer to the thickness of a standard flagship in the hand. The weight is expected to come in around 236 grams. That is lighter than the Fold XS, 239 grams. But let us be honest, this is still a premium, dense device. It is not meant to feel like an S25. It is meant to replace your laptop for short to medium duration work sessions. And at that task, the combination of the larger inner display, the upgraded RAM running at 12 gigabytes to 16 gigabytes, and the Snapdragon 8 Elite makes this one of the most capable portable computing investments available in 2025. Now, who should actually buy this? If you're on a Galaxy Z Fold 4 or older, this is a clear, decisive upgrade. You are getting a fundamentally better display, a chip that is 2 full generations ahead, dramatically improved cameras, and better battery life. The upgrade cost over 3 to 4 years of premium ownership works out to roughly $1.50 per day. For a device that replaces both your phone and your portable workstation, that investment makes rational sense. If you're on a Z Fold 6, be honest with yourself. The camera upgrade and display brightness improvement are real. But if battery life and camera quality were not pain points for you on the 6, the performance jump may not justify $1,799. Wait for the first major price drop, which historically happens within 60 to 90 days of Samsung's launch window. If you are on a Z Fold 7, skip this generation entirely. The improvements are incremental from 7. Your smart move is to wait for the full 9. If you are considering switching from the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold, the Snapdragon 8 Elite Performance Advantage, Samsung DeX for desktop mode productivity, and a longer software support commitment give the Fold 8 a stronger long-term value case. If you live in Samsung's ecosystem, this is the clear choice. If you're a casual user who mostly uses their phone for social media, streaming, and calls, a foldable at $1,799 is not the right investment for your use pattern. A Galaxy S25 Plus at $999 gives you flagship performance without the premium foldable tax. For creators, professionals, and power users who have been waiting for the foldable experience to mature, the Fold May 8th be the moment the category finally earns a full recommendation without major caveats. The Z Fold 8 is expected to be announced in mid-2025, with pre-orders likely opening immediately after reveal. Before you finalize any buying decision, there is one more comparison you need to see: the full head-to-head between the Galaxy Z Fold 8 and the Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold. That breakdown is coming next, and the results may surprise you.